No. Start it over. Do you want me looking in the camera? Start it over. You say the question again? Stop. It's getting emotional. I'm starting to get mad. I'll do 20 more questions. Alright? Let me think about that. Let's go. One more time. This is how I am. Okay, let's do this.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
What are we doing as a society? These are people we glorify, but are they giving back to the things that really matter? And honestly, in my mind, they don't.
Fuck, man! Woo! The burn is about to burn.
Caviar is delicate. Caviar is a guy that is seen and conquered, failed, but always stay focused on the dream. And that's who Caviar is. Well, my journey, it started very long ago, in my opinion.
I should not do with a Bible, got a tiger, a shark, some fucking Andy Warhol. You never know what you're gonna get in this book. The book is kinda... Where the fuck is my Tom and Jerry? Oh no. Sorry. It's okay.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan. A little bit outside of Detroit, Michigan, a place called Saginaw. And my mom was an art teacher there. And initially, like, I didn't know what I was gonna be. I didn't know what I was gonna do.
So it's best you just do the right fucking thing. It's best you do the right thing. You know?
My mom had no control of what I was gonna be able to be or become. My father moved to Georgia. And that really set a whole nother step in my life. And being from the area I was from was very scary. My uncle was murdered. You know, one of my favorite uncles, and he was assassinated basically. And it basically it made my family on my mom's side very, temperamental and just agitated and just never happy. And so that side came from somewhere, and just based of circumstances. And then I would say my dad's side was made very clean in a sense of how I should become and how I should live, and if I'm living the right way, And I took on those things and try to challenge that and overcome those obstacles. With that complexity of different upbringings and different family members and stuff like that, I was able to find myself throughout all of that. And
that was some work.
I believe it was something difficult, but I channeled certain things in certain times that gave me like a real presence and a real openness to who I needed to be and who I am now.
Banger, banger, Tommy, Ranger, yeah.
It's not about where you really start, it's about where you finish. And I believe I was able to do that based upon my curiosity throughout wanting to figure out the universe and society and how we really should actually interact with each other.
I identify with art. Obviously, when I was a child, my mom was a mother, but she was also an art teacher. And that's where it resonated. That's where I said that's where the pupil, the idea started. It was very instilled in me, but it was something I was like, why is she so serious about it? But it resonated, but as I got older, I had 2-second breathings of art. I feel like rejuvenation, I would say. And what my perception of life was modeling, to be honest. I was able to see myself as a muse to a lot of photographers, but in a way where I was able to reflect on myself in the photos. I wasn't just taking photos, I was becoming an embodiment of my environment, which led me to picking up a camera. But with picking that camera up, getting the visualization of and clarity of color and frequencies and lines and composition, and it wanted me to break it down to the variables of where we originally started from, color and making pigmentation and emotion, and painting became that primary focus for me. I would say in South Africa was that initiation to that second calling, which didn't start with color. It was just an initiation that I wanted to make art again, and I did. I started doing charcoal drawings, and eventually I came back to New York. I was 20 years old, moved into an apartment in Park Slope, and boom! 11 years, 10 years later, some shit, I don't fucking know. And we sitting here, still making art.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What you gonna do? Put some parchment on. Round that hoe. Round that bitch.
Look, I primed that hole, you feel me? Prime that hole, what else I got?
You gotta let it dry,
Bet.
And any color you want. And use any brush you want. I ain't helping you paint shit. Nigga, it's called self-expression.
This about to be interesting.
It's called self-expression, nigga. That's what it's about. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking go. You gotta paint, nigga. Paint like no what? Use the colors. Maybe you should do a sketch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me do a sketch. I'm gonna do a sketch.
To be an artist in New York City is very interesting. It's a time where I can look back and say I didn't do how I wanted. I do everything how I want. And I think New York still gives that lifestyle of being the artist and also having a voice as artists, as long as it's come across in the right ways. And I can say it's different from being an artist from 10 years ago, the first movement here, to now having the platform that I have now and having the voice that I have. It means a lot to me, and I believe it helps me to understand actually the times that we're going into, the political advances that we have moving throughout our society. And I just want to be the guy that's bridging that gap from white to black to artist to a tech guy. These are things I want to bridge the gateway to, because I believe it's going to move our society and help us understand of us as a religion, as a real equal. And when I say religion, I think we gotta get to the religion of the understanding of humans, not of church. When I say that, it's not to shun churches, but it's to get the principles of the basis of where we need to start at. And those are the basis of sharing, caring for each other, and loving each other. And basically that's where I found myself and my voice in New York, because I understand the polarizing effect that New York has on different markets. And being an artist that's living and thriving in New York art market, I want to have a voice that's very prevalent to reach the youth, the older generation, and also the middle ground of age, and those things are important. And if I can do that, I can carry a different message amongst the people to understand that we really are here for one thing. That's to love, to care for each other, and actually to heal the earth. And that's more, and it's more and more and more things that we could be actually doing. But I think if we just focus on three powerful things that's going to actually unify us, unifying is actually something that's important. And you do those things, I think the world is going to be better. But you got to actively want to do those things, and actively want the heart to do those things. The heart has to read and justify those things to where it's no point or succumbing to the other pressures of what society is giving you.
Yo, we in a fucking dungeon, and we are not happy today. Look what we have here. Look what we goddamn have. Actually, I'm happy, but I'm not happy. You can be both in one day. You can totally be happy and mad. There's nothing wrong judge you. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself it's so fucking okay. Cause it's so fucking okay. It's just okay. It's definitely looking like this little motherfucker. That foot, man. You know it took me some of these fucking sweet niggas.
Take over, I'm here to be a leader, nigga. It's never over. If you thought it was an hour, you see things that is gonna be planetary in this situation. It's never over when the world's destination. Explode this meet your motherfucking maker. Come on, you more faker than Louis bags. How sad is that? This clever flying is something that's more than that.
Oh boy, my rhymes are getting tight. They're getting tight in the pocket.
I decided I want to be political. It's formidable to any popular artist, artist that's been in demand. They always went the political route because they had a responsibility to deliver to the people and the public. And to me, I always followed that way in the rhetoric of being a gentleman, but being also something that is taken serious. I don't give a fuck what age I am. It's more of a presentation of what is now. And the cold hard fact is that a lot has changed, but a lot hasn't changed. And that's the balance of inequality and equality in society views. So as an artist, my job is to fix the rhetoric and give perception on things that is not clarified or has a very poignant identity. So the version that I'm creating of the art world that I'm doing is it's more or less bringing people together. It doesn't matter the color or nothing, nothing like that. So the barriers I've had to make and the rooms I had to basically create for myself was, in a sense, not limit a limit because I didn't see it as a limit, but that's my mindset. I don't see an obstacle. One. So a person that might see an obstacle might not want to walk in a room full of white people. I have multiple times, and it's not like I'm in there like studying or they studying me. It's just lucky enough to be in the rooms and have these conversations and be able to actually transpire energy and to represent myself as a black man, not me sugarcoating who I am. Never have done, but I have also understood their culture and their way of being, and it's a way of thinking like them when you're in their environment. And there's no shade to them, but at the same time, I have had to maneuver in ways as a black man in the art market because, one, who the fuck would take a young black artist serious? And that's what I didn't want to be taken as. I wanted to be taken serious. So I had to be in those rooms, those conversations where money is, and that's not the only people I done had conversations with money. I done been in conversations with black people with money also. But there is a prestigiousness in where it's held with white owners owning art, not just by black artists, but just in art in general. And the art market needs to be bought up by all kind of races. Art is so fruitful and valuable, to all races and creeds and walks of life. It shouldn't be looked upon as a color thing or a category or this. Art is from the heart, and everyone should be supported. Art is one of those things that
artists, you know, if they don't make it, they don't have a backbone. You know, you don't have nothing to fall back on. You know, get what I'm saying? So it's like you have a person that does security, but they can, if they lose their job, they get, you know, they get unemployment. Artists that's on the, you know, on the street doing freelance, they not getting money. You know, I was lucky enough to have other talents and shit, to have photography as a breadwinner, to get the real credible government certifications to be a legitimate artist, to where I can apply for unemployment. However, is that fair? Considering that if I were just a painter, and there's people that just live like that, and that's how they gotta pay their rent. And you know, I've been lucky enough because I had to be smart, because there was seasons where I wasn't making as much money for painting or photography. So they would balance each other out, but I knew I had to be doing all three. And people couldn't understand. It was like, why are you doing so many different? I was like, motherfucker, let me tell you why. Because there's so many different things I have to pay for, I have to manage, I have to do to create as an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
So at that point, it's like, what do you expect me to do? So you just figure it out. So basically, it's always you're working at an odd if you don't have the high rise. The high rise is the exponential value of investing. You know, if you have $1 million investing, obviously you're going to do something, unless you're ludicrous, and you should do something right with that money. But a lot of black artists don't have that platform to be able to have that investment, to just call the next shot, to say, oh, this is where it's going to be, you know. However, I have broke down walls and conversations with my peers of white men, white women, and obviously I don't look at color like that, but it just, as in this terminology, that's just as I'm speaking it on, just call it facts. And I feel like I have understood them and they understood me. I've never had a combative real thing. It was more interest. I was able to provide an interest for them to see more than just color. So to me, I don't have a bad trade-off in that aspect of it. But I can see it is a disadvantage based off the limitation of the rooms that I've been able to walk in that are successful rooms. So, yeah. It's kind of cool. Kind of fucking cool.
Young niggas that didn't get to live it hard, but it just broke the shit. I'm just living not to just lose myself, and that's just what the wealth is. To me, a rich man can tell me all these dirty things and dirty tricks. Fuck it, I'm thinking about that.
Feeling less than, or not dressed apart, but being invited, and almost feeling like a mockery. But over time, it felt like a battle that I won, considering where I come from. You know, watching people of wealth and dwell and have moments where the other world don't know about. You know, I'm seeing them have these moments, and it's like, wow. And they just looking at me as if I'm one of them, basically.
It's time to they will go this outside.
suggest anyone that's having any mental problems, freestyle is good for you. It's actually proven that it's actually very good mental exercise for the conscious and the mind and stress. So like, it's actually a good thing, even if you're cussing or whatever. It's better as opposed to you keeping it in. So that's my note to you.
I gotta put something here on it.
What I would say, what it takes to be a successful artist is something that it's instilled in the artist on what makes them feel successful. It's not about what society pressures are saying what is successful. For instance, like if I put the pressures on, like what's my next sell, maybe I wouldn't paint. But I paint for the ideal of figuring out the next subject matter, of painting the next history for the youth and the next generation. So if I'm not leaving anything that's going to be fragments or remainings of the past, I'm just crediting art and then the whole psychology of it, which is not any use. So therefore, I have no responsibility. And at that point, I can't be that guy. Well, American climate is very delicate. It's out on a limb, and we all know why. It's not just one thing. It's just not the president. It's not just, you know, the bad infrastructure. It's not just the bad legislature or the democracy. It's no balance. And when I say it's no balance in food regimen. There's no balance in mental stability or also financial stability. So these things are also holding in the human mind. It is constricting and manufacturing them to think that they're less than or programmed to be more. So therefore, they don't have a balance what society should be for them. I was able to figure it out on what society makes me happy. What I do in society, what makes me happy. And I've been able to figure that out with very minimal things. And that's with painting, that's with music, and that's with photography. And those are me using my senses. My senses are deliberate, and they're with a focus, and that is intangible into my soul, which my soul only know what is right. So in some souls, people can pretend what is right or wrong based off what they want to give action to. So when they do that, that is just their way of covering up on what is good should be happening. However, with me, I'm figuring it out.
Like they jaw jacks, no bottom. I got them, keeps them in my rap. Smoking one drinking stouts, wearing sneakers and broadcasts. 40s over there, the kids on the bridge. My posse likes this shit. Current events, they read a few passages, count my new stack. Stats under my mattress.
I need a trap.
I made chef, so I make myself a right. Don't want to slow jazz, make love all night. These events are guaranteed to take place. Sometimes love is lost during this hectic rap race. An uncertain pace that a man to hang through. They call us it ain't no fancy.
Try to be cool. Fuck that shit. Try to be cool.
Real penis, real penis, real penis.
Meaning like, I
I would just smoke a little bit and I put it down. When I get high, I'm high.
Yeah, me too.
You'll learn.
That's how I do it. That's how I do it. And I be in the house. Hold on, bro.
Let's just make sure you straight, bro.
But I be in the house. I just be in the house smoking it, and I be thinking about all these crazy ass ideas, bro. And it should just be coming to me naturally. And I'm like, is it the weed?
It is the weed. I don't blame it on the weed, but it is the weed. The weed helps.
So why they make like smoking is a bad thing? That shit don't make no sense.
No, because the government know how free you are when you smoke weed. They know the mind is incapable of being in society. Therefore, they don't like that shit.
276. Nigga, 276. You got me coughing here.
Well, at this point right now, I'm focusing on getting my work into like real prestigious museums. I want my work to be featured in a lot of galleries in Chelsea. You know, I don't want to go into names and stuff like that. I just want to be showcasing the areas that are taken serious, the artists are taken serious, and obviously multiplying and generating more art. Also, with that happening, the language of the artists being carried out through using those platforms and museums and galleries in those areas, because I want to attack them strategically. And when I say attack, I mean I want to give them a new identity. I want to give them a part of me. It's not to change the art world, but it is to give the art world a different focus, a different voice for certain people and certain demographic that hasn't been heard. And I represent, you know, a very, 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 very diverse collective of people. And I speak for not just white, black, Spanish. I speak for artists. I speak for photographers. I speak for creators. I speak for a lot of people. And I just want to be able to set a platform that is bringing us together opposed to separating us, and rejuvenate a welfare. When I say welfare, I mean social welfare. I mean a welfare of lucrativity, of having finances that is stretching upon, you know, generation to generation, where no one is struggling. And we'll separate the loophole when that happens. And I want to be the voice to give people financial freedom and wherever they desire to believe and work in. You want to do music, there should be something set up, you know, for you to really put in the work. And you can't just be saying that either. You got to put the work in, because it takes work. And you know, some things in society you have to work for it, and you know, it can't come with double standards. You just gotta focus on the goal, you know, and put the work in, basically. Bro, you don't listen. Set poison, man. That's the word. So you get used to it, right? And you're going on my spot. Set poison.
You thought I was gonna cough right there. Ah!
You know, growing up, I'm always seeing Jerry take advantage of Tom, and I was at a point where I was like, I must make Tom be the guy that's being able, even though he's bigger, I just wanted him to be, you know, the guy that be not the villain, but more or less the hero in this situation. You know, however, everyone's been in a situation. Technically, Jerry actually caught the fucking debit card that I lost, that I technically found. And basically what I was saying, you can't let yourself become the person that let your guard down. and letting your guard down can lead to anything. So basically that was the message of this painting. I think Jerry Law, kind of let his guard down, and and Tom was able to catch his ass for once. And I think that's the beauty of this painting, is to see something that was portrayed in society that is not actually being depicted in that reality. And I think that's the juxtaposition of reality in this painting. Is that our friend Jerry is getting caught, and Tom is the victor, perhaps. But he's the victor also because he got the money. So. But that's just that little story today. That can be obviously another story tomorrow. But that's how my paintings work. So it's hidden messages and just hidden agenda, just as the government is. Funny enough, I didn't even tell you. I painted this painting. Well, I didn't paint this painting. In my head, I painted this painting. But I painted the sketch of, I always say Sebastian, but Tom. No, not Tom. Jerry. Just Jerry. And his hand was like this. Same fucking drawing when I was like 12 years old. And I never was able to figure out how to put Jerry in between the hands. And maybe I drew this drawing maybe 2.5 years ago. And somehow Spirit came over me and said, paint it. Paint Tom and Jerry. And just rendering off why I like to paint. And basically I was able to come up with this painting because I had the desire to want to paint and the fruition up to the focus the mind, the lines, step by step, color by color, coloring by coloring. Strategic, but I like where the mind goes. It goes to a moment of quiet and a moment of consciousness with the surface, and that's really why I like to paint, because it's unknown of what's going to happen next. I can make a mistake, but then I have to clean up, and when I have to clean up, it can be frustration, but the beauty is still there. I still have something to reflect to where it's not, adjacent to what the focus is. It's more or less, it's a bump in the road. And, with that, it's more of a trigger, because I know there's an ultimate finish line at the end.
How can I do that? What's the trigger? How long will it take? I met Hella, it was St. Jude, we were both pacing. She kind of introduced music to me on a different level from what I was doing. Somebody in the team room asked me, was I going to do anything for the team art show? And Hannah just came in out of nowhere, like, he's going to rap. Oh yeah, he's going to rap. And I never really did anything like that before that, or like an original beat or anything like that. Everything I was feeling, how I felt, I just put all my emotions into that paper. So I couldn't keep it in. It was kind of like a coping mechanism for me. It was good for me to put it out there. See, lit the flame to start
Based off, at this point, it's off the emotion factor, and also line ability and technique, and basically if the line meets the lines, color meet color, no unbalanced things. That's what makes a painting finish to me. And did I do my best value into making the art? And I always do, so I always know when it's finished. I think a harp is very angelic. I want the horns to awake people though. You feel all calm and shit now. But the angels gonna come back angry. They ain't gonna come back. It's gonna be very selective who they can pick.
We just danced for like 2 minutes straight.
Like, yo, keep your head on. Get the fuck out of here.
How much you paid for that haircut?
20.
Oh my god, you ain't even do nothing!
I know. But I mean, he been my barber for a minute.
Man, fuck that nigga!
Fuck that nigga!
Yo, what beer is yours?
I don't know, but I'm not drinking from you. My beer's over there.
I like to paint because it gives me time to reflect on life, and I like to look at the news and see what bad things happen, and also good things, and but I also like to reflect on the things that made me happy.
This is called spoon painting 101. 101.
Paint, art, music, making beats. Called my dad. Called my grandma. Hanging out with my friends. I like to dance. And I like to buy cool shoes. And that's it. Technology. Technology makes me happy. And when I say paint, I love, plants. I love plants. Makes me so fucking happy. Look at the plants. Plants.
So aggressive.
I gotta show them. They're right here on the camera. I love plants. You can keep this weed in the video too.
How you leave the paint?
God damn! Damn! Damn, bro.
How the hell I come in and paint for? There's always something.
Oh my god. Man, what the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh my god. This is like a face.
Breaking away.
And then we get a wet rag. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of paint. Cav, you have a wet rag?
Right, man.
Yeah, wet rag.
No. Of course I got one, nigga. Get all that shit up first, nigga.
Yo, what the fuck's going on, baby?
Nigga, your ass wasting paint. Fucking up. Already.
I'm a seal it in real
Just
good.
came in fucking up.
I know. No.
Yes. Fuck, you just come in, drop the whole gallon of paint, and talking about you didn't fuck up. Why you didn't fuck up? You did that. Like, who comes in like you came in? Then gonna talk about you knocked over. Like, no. You should just observe. You should say, yo, man, just came in with your fucking bite. Your bite was so important.
Oh man. His ass, he left the paint can open, and then all of a sudden we have this.
He always blame me too. This motherfucker is ridiculous.
Now I got clean his floors. I just got it. You see it?
I know you, man.
Nah.
I know you tight. You should be. I wouldn't even want to do that shit when you come in. That shit gotta suck.
I caused it, so
You did. Yes, you did.
we gotta get it fixed.
Hey, you wanna pay
At least I didn't lock him out.
I was thinking about that.
Damn, this is so. Alright, let's get it right. Cause this looks so weird.
bro. Use the floor.
Alright, I'm gonna close this shit up right now.
You got work to do. I ain't doing that shit.
Get where the rag at? Yeah, where the rag at?
Bro, I'm trying to use some of it.
You can use the top too. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's not good time. Wow. This guy, man.
Oh, what a day.
Thanks, Sherman. What an entrance. I didn't even want to use this fucking unit. No, man.
Oh, boy, yeah, what are you doing?
Watch the top, man.
What are you doing? What are you
You don't
doing?
listen. You don't follow instructions, bro. That's why you want a good art student. You don't listen.
What the hell?
I'm gonna fail your ass.
Terrible.
I'm late.
I'm late.
It's a hazard.
Hold up. I take the beating.
What? Oh
And
my
somebody
god.
got chicken up there?
Did you just see what he did? Bro.
What?
Go, man. Watch.
Yeah, I need a rag.
Bruh, it's a fucking hose out there, bro.
Yeah,
You
it's a
watch-
hole.
No, take this with you, bro. This motherfucker stupid. This is the dumbest nigga I know. She's like, yeah.
Use me, Cavier, use me.
The wackest shit ever. Oh, you put soap on it? Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I know how to do this. You know how many times I done dropped a lot of things. For the face. Thank you.
Currency? No.
You know where
I know. I heard about currency though. I heard probably one song.
comfort. People pretend they don't want comfort, but everyone wants comfort. So basically, so I don't know.
What is success for you?
Well, success for me is whatever you make it.
What is it for you?
Living out my day and my time.
Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sunrise, when the sun.
Thank you.